it must be great for the three of you to have John back in the band, because John seems to be that catalyst, that guy who makes you guys elevate your game. Is that a fair assumption to make? Because every time John's in the band, the band just seems like it goes to a certain level. John,
that's a fair assumption. He's more than a catalyst. He is a catalyst, but he's our brother. He's our family, and I think just being around him and seeing how much he pours into what he does is infectious. It's contagious. It's inspiring, literally inspiring, not just like, oh, wow, I'm inspired, but he offers ingredients and love and hard work. And for sure, it makes us want to do better, work harder.
What made you ready to come back for this album?
It was a certain amount of soul searching that I'd done. It seemed like I'd changed and grown enough as a person to where it felt like it would be a beautiful thing to have another chance to do it right. I felt that way when I rejoined the first time, on a personal level and on a musical level. I had some new ideas about where I thought those relationships could go, and it was the same thing this time. I was seeing Anthony and Flea and Chad through a different lens than I had seen them through when I quit. Not that either time that I quit that it was specifically anything to do with personal, but, you know, having a personal relationship in a band is a hard thing. You've got to be in sync with four people, working as hard as they work, doing, going where they go, doing what they do, almost thinking what they think. It's an intense thing to do, and so I've found for myself that I've needed to clear my head of it and try to figure out who I am as a person. And I really wanted to have that closeness and that kind of vulnerable interaction with them again.
It must have been really kind of a no-brainer, right? Or did you guys have some discussion and say, gee, could we go back, start working again together?
I mean, there was definitely something in the air, because without knowing that John wanted to come back and without knowing that Flea had been having interactions with John musically, suddenly I felt very overwhelmed with the feeling of, how do we get John back? And
right.
And Flea and I had a very classic moment where we went to each other to say something important, and he's like, I gotta go. And I was like, no, I gotta tell you something. And it was just in the air. It was time for John to come back. And I was shocked when Flea told me that John was interested and that he had been playing with John. And, there were no hard feelings. There were no resentments. There were no regrets. The fact that we were able to kind of keep things going while John was away was sort of perfect in the end, because we were available when he showed up, and it was time for change.